Hi guys, today I thought I would share with you my two sons' science curriculum. We are using the Sassafras Science Adventures Volume 1 Zoology. My sons are currently in kindergarten and first grade, and we are going through this together. I purchased this through the website, and I will link that website down below where you can purchase this. When I purchased it, I also bought the science experiment kit, and it's actually good for volumes 1 and 2. So it comes with some of the science stuff you would need for both volumes, and I'll go through that as well. So it comes in this box. I kept it in the box. And it tells you the material, how many, and what week you use it. So this would be volume 1, week 4, and then any special instructions of like where you would find it. So like this one is found in the baggie. This one was found in the jar. Okay. Inside the kit, it came with some thermometers, an owl pellet. See, here's the jar with all the stuff in it. It has like tape, flashlight, cotton balls, a glove, some clay. It looks like this little piece of mesh, a timer, some glitter, a magnifying glass, food coloring, a baggie, a bag of sand, some little cups, a little pony, some droppers, pliers, a coffee filter, a handkerchief, another little baggie, a roll of pennies, a pencil, a straw, and some chopsticks. So all of that came in the box, and I purchased it through the website, but it was separate, and that is some of the items I will need for the next 2 volumes. So this volume, volume 1, and volume 2. I will tell you this is only an 18-week program. You're supposed to do 2 volumes a year, but based off of my children and their needs, I have so far made this one last us for 1 year, and it will last us for the 1 year because I'm only about halfway through, and we're about halfway through with school. Okay, so I packed all that back in the box. So now it came with the chapter book, which I'll read to the kids, and I'll do a little flip, the teacher edition, and the student edition. So here's the student edition, and we'll look through it first. It has the table of contents. They will study the grasslands, the desert, the farm habitat, rainforest, eucalyptus forest, bamboo forest, Arctic habitat, ocean habitat, some bonus stuff, and a zoology glossary. This is like a journaling sheet or like a note sheet that you can print out or use. And I'm going to show you what I did since both of my sons are doing this. I made copies, and I put it in a binder, and I'll show you the binder. So each habitat comes with a log sheet where you will write in the habitat, the location, and the expert that you're reading about, the rainfall, the temperature. It has a little picture they can color, the animals you will be studying, some characteristics about the habitat. You'll color in where you can find these around the world, and then the continents it's found on. And then you go into a recording sheet for each animal that you study in each habitat. You study 4 animals per habitat. So we have lion, and it has animal name, classification, food, location, and information about them, notes. So in this one you would have cheetah and elephant, same information. And then giraffe, and then it has some more note sheet to go with that unit. And then here's a project record sheet. You could glue a picture of the project you did and then information you learned. And then it starts the next one, the desert one. And it goes through all of these. I'm just going to kind of flip through so you can kind of see some of it. Okay. Here's the bonus data. It came up with this, a migration route. And then here's the zoology glossary. And I printed this out and put it at the front of the kids' notebooks. And then we will fill these in as we're learning about them. Okay. So that is the student handbook. This is the teacher edition. So it has an introduction, a book list, an additional library book list, demonstration supplies, project and activity supplies, a guide to the characters, and then each of your chapters, which go along with the chapters in the book. And you can see there are 18 chapters in the book. And then it has an appendix, which I'll show you some things that you can pull from there, and some quizzes. So here's an introduction. It just gives you a little bit of information. It tells you the books, the living book spine, which is this book. And then encyclopedias, they recommended the Kingfisher First Encyclopedia of Animals or the DK Encyclopedia of Animals, and I bought the Kingfisher one. And then any additional library books you would like. It has a website you can go to. It talks about the vocabulary and just different things. Then you have your book list. And this is what I really like. It has additional library books for each chapter. So I can just go to my local library and see if they have any of these. And they have one for every chapter. And then here's the demonstration supplies by the chapter. So it tells you for like chapter 2, you need a toilet paper tube, foil, rubber bands, construction paper, and a flashlight if you want to do the cat eye demonstration. Sometimes we skip some of these demonstrations. And then it has a project and activity supply list. So this is if you want to do the projects that it lists. That's what you need. Okay, and then here it goes through the characters that they're going to find in each chapter. And these are the ones throughout the whole entire book. And then it kind of just tells you who's in each chapter. Okay. Sorry, I have some notes here that I just took. Let me get that. Sorry, the screen was a little blurry there for a minute. So here is chapter 1, The Adventure Begins. It tells you experiments, what you need, and projects for what you need. It goes through if you want to do it 2 days a week, what you can do, or if you want to do it a 5-day week. And I'll tell you, I make one chapter last 2 weeks. So I even go further down than this, and I do a lot more extra activities with it. I use stuff from YouTube, just different stuff from online. And then it breaks it down from there. It tells you what you're going to be reading in this book, what pages to pull from the encyclopedias, additional library books that you can do. It gives you all the, this right here is the information that the students will put in on a habitat sheet, which is this sheet. And then it tells you what you'll put on the animal recording sheets. And it gives you some other stuff that you can look up. There's the glossary section, so that it gives you the definitions that you would write in the glossary sheets. And then it tells you a demonstration to do with the kids. And then at the very bottom it has projects and activities that you can do. And it even has copy work. And it does this for every chapter. So I'll just give you, this is where we're at right now. And again, you can see it has a lot more information for that animal. And then at the back of the teacher book, it has some additional stuff. It has a lab report sheet. These are the small animal pictures. And I'll show you how the kids use these. And then here is a big picture of every habitat that you're going to go through. Okay, and then they have like this toucan. They have the life cycles of a frog. Life cycle of a butterfly. And this is if you wanted to make the kids write about it. Then it has a glossary for you with the same words that are in the book. It has quizzes for each, so this is like chapters 2 and 3. And it gives you the answers here, and then it's just a little 5-question quiz. For each one. And that's the end of the book. It's in like a chapter book. It's in the format of a story. It goes through the 2 twins, the 2 sassafras kids, and their Uncle Cecil. Their names are Blaine and Tracy are the kids' names. And see, it says like volume. So it's like chapter 1, Crazy Uncle Cecil. And like I break this down, and I only read half of the chapter at a time. So like I would read like here, and then the next thing I would stop, and I would read this the next week. And I do this to make it, that way we spend 1 week on one animal for the whole week, and it's less reading for them. So like, this is chapter 2, the African grasslands. They're covering 2 animals a week. They would have covered the lion, and I think it was the cheetah. And the cheetah. And I decided to break it down, and we do the lion for 1 week, then I would do the cheetah part for 1 week. And then we would move on to the next animal. And you can see, and I read this to my kids. We sit down and we read it together. Okay. Alright. So how I broke this down for my kids is they each got a little binder. And then I put tabs in it, and this says vocab. And then I put each habitat as we learn it. And then the vocab, I just print these out as we go. And they fill them in. And sometimes I will help them write them if they're really long. And this is my 7-year-old, so I help my kindergartner write a lot more of these. And sometimes I'll even do fill in the blanks for them. And then, so those small animals you saw, they glue them out and color them, and they can put them on their habitat. And I always start with the sheet. And then it's their habitat sheet. You can see I just do very few notes there. And then I have to color it in. And that's it. So at first I was making them write the notes. And they did not enjoy this. And it was taking a long time. And then I was helping them write it. So I changed it. I realized that this did not work for my family and my children. Now they just do a fill in the blank. So I will type all of the notes. And they fill in the words. And then this is like, we use this sheet for like one of the experiments. You can see I've printed this out and just put it in there. And then here is their quiz, and I would give them the quiz. And then we move on to the next one. And it's the same thing. When we do the experiments, we use these sheets. And then sometimes, I'll show you this, I will find extra information. See, we still have to fill this in for this week. We've done the first part already, and then we'll do this later in the week. We'll glue it in, and then we'll work on these. I found this. I got this from the back of the book, the teacher book, so I just put it in here for them. I pulled this from online. It was a coloring sheet, and I just printed it out, and they can color while I read to them. And then I found some other stuff through Teachers Pay Teachers. And I just printed this off from Teachers Pay Teachers. And I put it in here for them to do if they want to. And then these tabs are ready for the next thing. I'm planning on purchasing the anatomy one for next year. I'm definitely going to purchase it. I love this Greeley. My kids love this. We're having so much fun with it. And we will continue it, and I'll probably just get them a new binder. And new tabs or dividers. So that's how that does. And we spend about, this is in our loop schedule, and I'm going to be doing a video of the loop schedule. But with our loop schedule, we don't do science every day. We might do it 2 to 3 times a week. And we'll work on it for maybe 30, 45 minutes, depending how much time they want to spend on it each, 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week. So this is what it came with, along with all of the supplies, and then I just put it in the binder. We have also created this to just hang up, and I print these pictures from the internet as we go over the animals to classify where they would go. So that's something else that it talked about doing in the book, and I did that.